Thanks for the support as a channel member, Stephen Paul. Folks, I don't want to get anybody too overexcited, but there was a moment, just a mid-match moment of about 10 or 15 minutes since the last episode, where we were top of the championship. Hello and welcome to Club 2, Part 12 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have two championship games for you. We're at home against Sheffield United and away against Cardiff, but that's not even the news. The news is that since you were last with me, we have gone on a run of form. Obviously, in the last episode, you saw us beat Newcastle and then narrowly lose away against Arsenal. We then went and beat Newcastle again. This is the Newcastle that were top of the championship. We beat them twice in back-to-back games, and that, believe it or not, set us up with some quite good morale and momentum going into the next few games. And we went on to win multiple consecutive games. And it was during this Huddersfield match. We went into this game. I was kind of half paying attention because I didn't think we were going to get anywhere near automatic promotion. I was playing the in-betweeny bits. It's on me, boys and girls. It was late at night and I was only semi-paying attention. But we actually went into this Huddersfield game with Huddersfield second in the league, us third in the league. And we must have been second and them third. And Newcastle was still top. And while it was still 0-0, we were top of the league very briefly because Newcastle were losing. Unfortunately, we did end up going on to lose the game against Huddersfield. And this is what the championship table now looks like. It is close at the top. Newcastle on 71 points. We're 5 points behind them on 67. There must have been a game in hand or something in there for us to ever have been top. I promise we were. Very briefly. Huddersfield second on 69. We're third on 67. So kind of in an automatic promotion race. I'm more concerned with looking behind us, really, at the playoffs. I mean, I'm still of a mind that we just want to make sure that we don't finish in the bottom half, which I think we've probably already done. So I guess with 8 games to go, that was 10 games to go. Let's try and get in the playoffs. We're officially going to try and get in the playoffs now and ignore what's going on above us. But we play Sheffield United, who are 6 points behind us in 7th place. So it's yet another big game. Ryan Brewster is still joint top scorer in the championship, by the way, despite only having 18 goals. Do you remember when he had 17 in 17? He's now got 18 in 33, but everyone else in the league has stopped scoring as well, and he's still joint top scorer. After this terrible second half of the season, he's still in with a very good chance of being championship golden boot winner in a promoted team. He's going to be worth like £30 million, even though we know he's not very good. Daniel Ballard, 7.64, has the best average rating in the league, and at one point was in the Dream 11. He's now not in the Dream 11 again. He was briefly in the Dream 11 at right back and has a pass completion rate over the course of the season of 96%, I think. 97% pass completion rate in the championship, which is ridiculous for a player who plays every match the way Ballard does. And we've made some other signings as well. We've brought how many in since the last time? We've got a couple of youngsters. We won't worry too much about these. Phil Kelly and Darren Ayres are both young players that we're not going to worry too much about. If you really want to know about them, pause quickly and have a look at them there. But the big signings, Dane Scarlett has come in to offer some competition at striker for us, 23 years old now. Of course, a hot prospect at Tottenham in real life. He's got 3-star current ability, 4.5-star potential, not quite as good on the current ability as Brewster, but he's in on loan until the end of the season. We've not had to pay a fee for the loan. We are paying all of his £24,000 a week wages, but crucially, we've got an optional future fee on him at £2.5 million. To me, this is a risk-free deal. He either comes in and isn't very good and all we had to do was pay his wages, or he comes in, scores 10 goals, pushes Brewster out of the team, and then we can pick up an even better championship striker for only £2.5 million. So to me, that seems like an excellent piece of business and replaces Hugill as a reserve striker for us. We then brought in a couple of midfielders. Daniel Daniel, he's 6'6", and you can't teach that. That's the main reason we signed him. He can play, well, he is a central midfielder, can also play centre-back, centre-forward. He's very much a Dixon Bonner style, as far as I'm concerned. Can play anywhere up the middle for us. Can't do the right-back situation, which is a little bit of a shame. I bet he loves, as a Paraguayan international, being compared to a non-league footballer who I never really had a set position in the team for. But that's exactly why I wanted him, just as an extra utility player. Plus, having someone in who's 6'6" and with 19 leadership, these aren't things to be sniffed at. So we brought him in, and then this guy was just a deadline day bargain. He was on the transfer list, I think, Crystal Palace, yeah. Warren Bondo, we probably didn't need him. He's yet another central midfield player, but for £1 million, he just seemed like a bit of a bargain. So we brought him in just because I felt like I needed to do something on deadline day. Palace spent £16.75 million on him a few seasons ago and then barely used him. So I think picking him up for £1 million, either he ends up being brilliant and we either use him to get promoted or sell him on in that £16 million range again, or he's a relatively risk-free £1 million bargain. I mean, we're that size of club now where we can kind of gamble on £1 million and it's like, well, maybe he'll be good, maybe he won't. It doesn't really matter either way. We've got plenty of money. We've got loads of budget left. It'll be fine. The other exciting thing to develop throughout this January is Fabio Guzman, who, if you remember, we brought in from Bolton when we first arrived in that first transfer window for very little money. He was one of those youngsters that I probably said, he's come in, let's not worry too much about him. But he's another one who's 6'5". You know I like him big. And he went out on loan to Crewe and was brilliant in League One, a 7.32. We actually brought him back to include him in our first team squad, where he was 3-star current ability with 5-star potential. He's going to be a superstar. But then we got Guarda in, who can play centre-back, and I figured he's not going to get the football that he needs playing for us. So let's send him out for one more loan in League Two. So he's gone out to Southend, where he's played 3 games, got 2 man of the matches, a goal and an assist, and a 7.63 average. Again, in League One, he's valued in the range of 6.8 to 10 million pounds. We have got a superstar on our hands, probably for next season, especially if we don't get promoted. I imagine Guzman is going to be a starting centre-back for us next season. If we're in the Premier League, maybe he gets one more loan, but he is going to be very, very good. So the squad is looking excellent. We've upgraded nicely again. Money is still all looking good. And we're in with a chance of promotion. Yes, I'm doing an unbelievable job. Thank you very much, board. This is the team that we're going to put out there for the Sheffield United game as we look to continue winning football matches. We've got Bezic in goal, a back four of Ullman, Kitching, Ballard and Lewis, Guana and Anderson in midfield, Gallagher, McCormick and Nelson then supporting Brewster up front. We've not started Dane Scarlett yet, mainly because he came in not close to match fit. He's a little bit closer to match fit now, so he may well get an opportunity sooner rather than later if Brewster continues to not impress. But really, Scarlett's come off the bench a couple of times now and also hasn't really done anything particularly impressive yet. And I'm kind of a mind, when we have the Championship's top scorer in our team, even if he's not been in very good form for a little while now, there's always the chance he'll do that. Is that counting? I don't think that's counting. Is that counting? I don't understand the glitches in Football Manager now, because normally, because that said that was his 18th goal of the season, we know he's already got 18 goals, and I thought I'd spotted a thing where if it didn't add a goal to it, the goal was being disallowed, but apparently not, because that one has been allowed. We've got the scoring against former club thing. He's going to have a blinding game today, isn't he? He'll get a hat-trick today, and then we can't drop him before the end of the season. But what I was going to be saying was Scarlett kind of needs to force his way into the team. He needs to come off the bench and grab a goal or two. I don't think we need to be dropping Brewster just for the sake of dropping Brewster, especially when on his day, there's always the chance that he'll just absolutely rip a team apart, because he does do it from time to time. And certainly in the first half of the season, he ripped everyone apart for like 15 consecutive matches and was brilliant. Ullman with the nice interception there, trying to dink it over the top to Brewster. Is that Patrick Berg, who I've got on the network game? That's why I was so distracted there. I noticed there's a Berg playing defensive midfielder for Sheffield United, and I'm devastated if my Everton superstar is now playing in the Championship. I don't even want to see the replay. Is it him? It is. How has that happened? How is he only playing in the Championship in this universe? In the network game, he is a star for my Everton side that has got a very good chance of winning the Premier League. Players develop differently in different saves. I think it's important that we all learn that. Players develop differently in different saves. Ballard's in there with the header, but it goes just over. It remains 1-1. I'll try not to get distracted by the superstar that is Patrick Berg any more times. I mean, I wonder if we could sign him. He's slumming it down at this level. I wonder if we could bring him in. Although, to be fair, there is just a lot of very good players down in this Championship. We noticed in yesterday's episode that Sambi Lokonga, off of Arsenal in real life, was at Newcastle. He was sold by Newcastle for 40 million on deadline day and described as a world-class midfielder. So there are plenty of very, very, very good players knocking around in the Championship, which makes it all the more remarkable that we've done as well as we have this season, although Sheffield United are coming at us here. Bezic is there to make the save, and we need to sort ourselves out a little bit today. There was a moment there where we were back in the automatic promotion spots briefly, but as soon as they equalised, we've been knocked back down to third place. And of course, with Sheffield United being one of the teams that are chasing for that playoff spot, we do need to keep an eye on them and make sure that they don't push past us. Swansea have actually jumped above us into fourth place as it stands, although it looks like Huddersfield and Newcastle both potentially dropping points today, because although we've dropped down a spot, we've actually gained points or gained a point on both of them as things stand. Today is an opportunity, and Kitching has hit the post. I don't even know why he's that far forward. Was it a throw? There's not really any excuse for our centre-back being in the 6-yard box from open play. I think it came from a throw-in. But Kitching with the header that cannons back off the post, and we were very close to being able to take a lead just before half-time there. And like I say, opportunities are plenty today as Newcastle are now behind in their game. Huddersfield, for the time being, are top of the league, and we're only a couple of points behind them. So if we can grab a goal here, we possibly... Oh, Brewster's hit the crossbar. I don't even know where my sentence was going there, but Brewster, a massive opportunity. And now I think we've won a corner. Is that a corner or a throw-in? Either way, it wasn't worthy of a highlight. And now I'm looking at Brewster thinking, yeah, you've scored one. But does Scarlett score that one? Is he any good? Because again, players develop differently in different saves. If you watched my previous Twitch save, you'll know just how good Dane Scarlett has been for me in the Championship already in FM22. He finished Championship top scorer on loan from Tottenham, and he was so good that I couldn't bring him back because Spurs wanted like £40 million for him. But is he that good in this save? We don't know. Don't worry. I followed the rules of Not Need to Legend. I didn't side him just because of that. He did come up on my scout reports. Actually, it was a director of football recommendation. But either way, it was within the rules. And we are going to bring him on here and see if he's any good. Gallagher also not having the best of games out there today. So we're going to bring Ennis on that left-hand side. And come on, boys. Who's the injured player? What? The substitutions haven't gone through yet. Or some of them have. This is going to glitch here, isn't it? I don't think it's going to let me take him off. Oh, it does. Wow, that was a glitch in the game for years. I think we'll change my mind on the substitution. We're going to bring on Prigmal now and push Anderson further forward. We'll do that. Yeah, we'll do that. Kitching's moving out to left back. Meanwhile, we're going to encourage. And do I want to go attacking, or is that a little bit too gung-ho against a team who are very good? I think probably it is. I love the fact you can see Guauna's headband from this kind of range in the match engine. It's very cool. He's clearly a very exotic 6'6" man with long hair and a headband, and I just want to be him. And Dane Scarlett has his first Peterborough goal, and what an important one it could end up being. He puts us 2-1 up on 71 minutes against one of our promotion rivals, and I mean, this is exactly what we were looking for, bringing in Dane Scarlett. If he can do that a few times between now and the end of the season, not only it can be the difference between us getting promoted or not, but also we can buy him for such a bargain price. What does that do to the league table? Look how close things are at the top right now. Huddersfield on 72. In fact, Newcastle have just dropped below us, I think. Or someone dropped below us then. I don't even know who it was. I can't keep track. Everything's moving so quickly. As of right now, we're back up into second place. as things stand. This was not on the agenda for this season, boys and girls. This was not part of the plan. This is all happening a little bit early, and Bezic there just saves it with his foot. I mean, he fully knows he's a League One goalkeeper, having the time of his life playing for us in this championship promotion push. And as it stands right now, we're 1 point behind top of the table Newcastle, who we know we can beat. We've beaten them twice in back-to-back games. We've moved above Huddersfield, who beat us. We're in an automatic promotion spot with 9 games to go. This is on. Boys and girls, this is on. Which means we're probably about to bottle it massively. But look at that. It's a beautiful thing for the time being. We have a change forced upon us for the Cardiff game then. Ullman picking up a twisted ankle in the Sheffield United game. Lundqvist also injured, so Walters having to come in to play as a makeshift left-back for us today. Otherwise, it is the same team. In fact, it's not, because I brought in Santiago as well, who's been pretty much ever-present throughout this excellent run that we've been on. Was rested in the Sheffield United game and is now back to partner Daniel. He's partnering Daniel in midfield with Anderson dropping down the bench. When I signed Elliot Anderson a year ago, I did not expect him to be anything other than a nailed-on starter every single match. But I look at that front five and think, as a first choice, I don't think he fits into it. I think that's probably our 5 at the moment. Let's submit the team and fingers crossed continue our winning run. Cardiff are another team who are very much in this promotion mix. They also have Adam Ida, who up until the last match was joint top scorer in the league with Brewster. Brewster now 1 goal ahead of him, but Cardiff down in 6th place, so 1 spot above Sheffield United. I think we play Swansea in our next game as well, who are, again, very much in this promotion mix. This is a difficult run-in. The big games are coming thick and fast now. And if we're still in with a chance of automatic promotion, to be fair, if we're still in with a chance of the playoffs in tomorrow's episode, it's going to have shown an excellent run of form. What a pass that is from Lewis. Brewster picks it up beautifully and Gallagher absolutely fluffs his lines. But the initial cross from Lewis was an absolute beauty. And I've talked about it before. Confidence with Brewster. I don't know why he doesn't just get on the end of that cross and score a goal. I just think he's probably a different kind of striker to what I really want. I think Scarlett might be closer to the just pure finisher that I'm looking for, because Brewster is always looking to do stuff like that, bringing other people into the game. I think he'd be great as part of a front two, but I don't have any plans to switch up to a front two anytime soon. I would be sacrificing too much from our midfield to do it. So I don't know. Brewster, I don't want to say the championship's top scorer's days are numbered in our team, especially when he scored in the previous game as well. But it frustrates me when I see him do things like that. That frustrates me too, seeing us go a goal behind. My standards have got too high. We're only supposed to finish mid-table. In fact, we're only supposed to avoid relegation. Our goal was finish mid-table. It's fine to come away from home to 6th place Cardiff and lose the match. But now we've had a little taste of what a promotion push might be like. Oh, it's delicious. We want more of it. Oh dear. Right, let's just get to halftime. Let's not do anything silly. And fingers crossed we get back into it in the second half. We're only a goal behind. And Ballard playing it forward to Santiago. And now McCormick's got Brewster making a run ahead of him. He finds Brewster. I don't know that he's even kept himself on side there, but at least this time he does take the ball on and take the shot. It was offside as well, but it's good to see Brewster actually trying to score a goal rather than getting into a position like that and looking to play somebody else in, because he's probably the best finisher we've got. He just doesn't do it often enough. But I want him to be the one taking the shots in those kind of situations. Right, we've got McCormick, in fact, has won the ball back there very nicely. Lovely high pressing again, and Gallagher is in, and Brewster is there for the tap in. Did he stay on side? I think he might have done. It looked like he was kind of hovering in an offside position, but it doesn't seem to be. Oh, it has been disallowed, hasn't it? Well, we already. No, we weren't. That was an equaliser, Kev. I thought we were already level. I mean, he is offside, I think. But it has been given. Are we getting that as a tight offside? Are we getting a look at that? He must have been behind Gallagher. That's the only way he's not offside there. It was difficult to see without the lines across the pitch. He must have been level or behind Gallagher. But either way, we've got our goal back, even though I thought we'd already scored it. And my brain's gone. I've lost my mind. Guan, it's him. He's ruined it for me. I don't know how to say his name. McCormick trying to play Nelson in and he couldn't get him behind his defender, but in fact the goalkeeper's dropped it and Nelson kept his run going. And the most ridiculous and unlikely of goals has put us ahead. We've started this second half like we mean it, and the goalkeeper here, that is a disaster for him. It's so innocuous. The ball's floated over. Nelson couldn't get it. The defender deals with it so comfortably, nods it back to his keeper, and the keeper just put it on a plate for Nelson, who'd kept running and then dances off doing the chicken dance. It doesn't get much more perfect than that from our point of view. And with an hour gone, we're 2-1 up. We're back up in those automatic promotion spots again. Cardiff are having a miserable second half, and everyone's happy. Everybody, apart from the Cardiff fans. But we don't care about them. Everybody else is happy. Right, Gallagher is going to come off for Anderson, who that's probably the most likely spot for him to break back into this team as a regular starter on that left-hand side. I'm looking at the fitness levels of all these other players. Santiago isn't having the best of games. Neither is Walters, but Walters we don't really have an option for. He's got to stay on. Some of the defenders are tiring. But I don't really want to mess with the defence too much. I want to mess with the attack. So I want to get Scarlett on, really. I wonder if we try 2 up top when we're already 2-1 up away from home. Probably terrible idea. You know I'm doing it anyway. Now I've thought it. You know I'm doing it anyway. We'll sort them out in a second, and then Nelson's going to come off for Ennis. And I think what we probably need to do is have Scarlett as the more direct attacking runner. And then Brewster, I mean, we could probably let him be the false 9 that he's always dreamt of being. We try that. And then effectively, I think we're probably in a similar kind of shape. Brewster is going to drop in behind Scarlett. This might be the answer to all of our problems. Not that we have many problems. We're Peterborough and we're second in the Championship. We're quite problem-free at the moment. But Brewster back in the goals, back in form, 2 goals in 2 games, and now I'm messing with him. I mean, you couldn't write this stuff. Wolves are beating Huddersfield away from home. That is massive for us. Newcastle comfortably beating Forest, but we're not. I mean, we're seriously not trying to win the league. We're just trying to get into the playoffs. And if we end up stumbling into automatic promotion, lovely. We have no aspirations of anything. We just want to do as well as we can, win as many games as we can, and see where that leaves us. But where it's left us with 8 games to go is in an absolutely ridiculous position of being second in the Championship, 2 points clear of Huddersfield. We've got the top scorer and the best player. Jesse Lingard's playing in the Championship as well. This is nuts. Right, we will obviously be back with some more. I mean, I don't know. Do we go all the way through to the end of the season now? We've got so many big matches coming up. Hold on. Let's try and work out what's going on. We play Swansea next. That's a big game. Crystal Palace is a big game. I can't show you all of these. West Brom is probably, I mean, it's a big-ish game. Forest, we should win. Wolves, who are down in mid-table as well. Forest Green should be a comfortable win, although actually they're not getting relegated, it seems. Then we're away against Middlesbrough, who are very much in the mix. And then at home against Barnsley, who we should win. So last couple of games, we should win. The difficult times come between now and then. So I don't know. What do we do? Do we come back tomorrow for Swansea and Palace because they're both really big games? I think we probably do. Swansea and Palace tomorrow, and then we'll figure out what to do after that from there. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. Thank you very much for watching.